When I was about 10, I think, I just returned home from a car trip to the country fair with my family. My dad, my mum, my sister and my brother. And we just gotten home after driving for about 2 hours, and it had gotten really dark, but none of us had spoken for the whole trip. Are you listening? It was as if we'd all been asleep and we drove in the driveway and my dad stopped the car. But instead of any of us getting out like how we usually did, we just sat in the car staring ahead, and we didn't speak for a very long time. I was the first one to get out, and I started to walk towards the concrete steps that led in the porch, and I could hear my family behind me. My dad, my mum, my sister and my brother, and I could hear all 4 doors of the car slam, one after the other, like a gunshot from a rifle, and I could hear their feet following me up to the stairs of the porch right behind me, and it was so quiet. And I was leading them sort of, and I was only about 10, and I got to the top of the stairs and I was standing on the porch, and I was the first one there, and I turned to see them all. And they were all staring right at me, all staggered because of the steps, and all their eyes staring. And I saw them like that, just for a second. And then do you know what I did? I spat on the very top step just before my dad stepped down. And just as he stepped on that little spot of spit that had nothing dirtier in it than cotton candy and caramel apple, my whole family burst into stories like you've never heard before. And my dad got the belt that he'd just bought from the country fair. It was a black leather belt with a gun engraved on it. And he just took one more step onto the porch with the belt hanging down from his right hand and the buckle was clinking on the cement. Then he swung his arm round so slowly behind his back, so the belt dragged through the air, following his wrist, and came back so fast that all I could hear was a crack as it hit my ankles and my knees. And then I fell. And they were silent again. And they just waited there on the steps. My dad, and then my mum, and my sister and my brother. And I just stayed there in a ball, all rolled up, from my knees to my chin, and I was just rubbing my ankles. And they'd left me there. And I felt very good about myself. I felt very good that they'd just left me there, all on my own.